freaking first cut. Golly.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the First Cut Podcast. It is your, finally, your round one recap of the Wyndham Championship. I'm your host, I'm your analyst, I'm whoever you want me to be, your soundboard, yada, 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 Patrick McDonald. I will say before we get into the goods there, at Sedgefield Country Club, my internal clock completely out of whack. Everyone has their cross to bear. Mine this week is that internal clock. I'm sure Josh can relate because, look, as avid golf fans, we live and breathe golf. You have the Women's Olympics starting on Wednesday. Okay, that's going to throw you for a wrinkle. Thursday, PGA Tour typically starts. Not so fast. They're starting on Friday at 10 a.m. instead. I have no idea which way is up, which way is down. The Chubby Fish super fan. All of a sudden, Chubby Fish, like Zach said, suddenly it's tasting good. Not meaning to drop that name there. If you were here last time with Rick in the restaurant reviews, you understand. Okay, that's enough about that. Let's get into the action, the season finale. And the morning wave. They finally got play started there, and Jordan Spieth, the golden child himself, actually got off to a decent start. 3 under, 67 for Jordan Spieth. 5 pars out of the gate, started on the back 9 there, and then boom, the eagle has landed. Shout out to Neil Armstrong. Nice long iron into the par 5 15th, 8 feet for eagle, cashes it, gives it back on 17, hits a poor drive. Kind of chips it out. Probably got a little too aggressive on the second. Can't get up and down. And then a real nice run there to end his round on the back half of that front 9. 3 birdies in a 4-hole stretch, including a really nice wedge shot into 8 before a bogey on 9. Missed the fairway, missed the green. Kind of typical Jordan Spieth. But there's some positives from this round, right? Some really good iron play at moments. We have seen some really good iron play at moments in 2024. Guess what? Jordan Spieth drove the ball well again. Inside the top 15 in strokes gained off the tee, hit his last 10 greens in regulation, and he actually made a few putts, which I know we harp on his iron play a lot so far this year. But as Josh always points out for us, his putter has actually been quite poor also. So, made a decent stride there today. I will say this week began with Jordan Spieth talking about his wrist, a potential wrist surgery in the offseason, which our very own Rick Gehman asked the question, and not to go on another rant so quickly, but I am on my soapbox. It's Friday night. It's late. I'm doing what I'm doing. These aggregator accounts just giving the credit to random journalists. They're saying, oh, Jordan Spieth might need wrist surgery this offseason. And then they credit a various reporter. You know who they should credit in that instance? Jordan Spieth, the man who said the words himself. Let's join the revolution, folks. And down with the aggregator accounts. Honestly, some podcast accounts too. Not that I'm pointing fingers. Luckily, ours is run by producer Josh, and he throws out the heat. Next, Matt Kuchar, 6 under. That's how you transition, Josh. I don't think Rick can do that. 6 under, 64 for Matt Kuchar. This is a guy who was in contention at the 3M Open, hit the ball beautifully. Well, he's back at it again with the white Vans. Damn, Daniel. 6 under, 64, like I just mentioned. First 11 holes were pretty boring, but then really gets it going. Really nice 6-hole stretch, playing that in 5 under, where he really gets all the damage done. Gained over 4.5 strokes with the putter, which is a welcome sight for Matt Kuchar, who could not putt at the 3M Open. Was great from tee to green. Couldn't putt. Kind of weird for him. Typically the opposite. Over 125 feet of putts made, and Cooch, they're going to bring it up on the broadcast ad nauseum throughout the week, but he is the last man to qualify for all I don't know how many FedEx Cup playoffs they have been, but he's qualified for all of them, I think. Or he's batting 100% pretty much. And with this start, currently there's still some people on the golf course. He would not be in the playoffs. I know there's a lot of Matt Kuchar fans out there who are probably crying right now. Tuck your kids in, say a prayer, do all that stuff. But from 113, he would only rise to 97, unfortunately. So Kuchar with work to be done. Also with work to be done, but in a different light because he's had a good year. He's won this year. It's nice to see Austin Eckroat flash a little form once again. And it's not that he's been terribly off since his win at PGA National. It just seems like, okay, 1 week the iron play is in a really good spot. Unfortunately, that same week, the putter is in a horrible spot. Okay, he finally figures out the putter. Guess what goes awry? Not Aaron. His iron play. Can't get it to cooperate. The constant in all of this has been the driver. He's always been very accurate off the tee. That has sustained throughout the summer. But really, since that PGA Championship, doesn't have a top 20. And while Kuchar, I wouldn't even say Kuchar's on the bubble. He's on like the far, far range of the bubble. He's on a bubble adjacent to the bubble. Eckroat's on a bubble inside the bubble. Number 49 coming into the week. Obviously, the real playoffs, in my opinion, is next week, getting into the top 50, the PGA Tour and the PGB Tour. That separation. And Eckroat is a guy, only a sophomore season, entered the Wyndham Championship last year as the bubble boy, ironically, did not handle the pressure well, missed the playoffs. Now he comes in this year with a different type of pressure, goes around Sedgefield, bogey-free, 6 birdies, really solid throughout. What you would expect from Austin Eckroat. 12 fairways, 14 greens, really well-rounded effort, and showing the talent and star power that he could hold down the road. So good start for him. Brendan Todd, also in the mix. I don't really want to touch on him, the Todd father, no offense. Instead, we're going to go to the man of the hour, Beau Hossler. That's right. Big Hoss. B. Hoss. The Hossler. Beau knows. Favorite bows in the history of bows, I would say Bo Jackson, obviously up there. Feel free to chime in the comments. Last time we did this, what was it, Josh? Bridges. It was Bridges. Yes, Leon Bridges, Mikal Bridges. Who's the Michigan State Bridges? Miles Bridges, the Ravenel Bridge. A lot of different ways. I'm going to say this time around, throw your favorite Beau in the chat. Bo Jackson, obviously number one for many. Bo Callahan, Browns quarterback in draft day. No one went to his birthday party, so he's probably not on many people's list. Beau Hossler. Aren't a ton of Bows, so I'm guessing he's got to be maybe top 10 for golf people. Yes. Anyways, he shoots 10 under 60 today. Threatens. Oh, Bo Burnham. Josh, behave yourself. Behave yourself, son. Beau Hossler shoots 10 under 60. Threatens to become the third person this year to shoot 59 on the PGA Tour. Trivia, he would join Cameron Young from the Travelers Championship, I believe, round 3. And probably the more obscure name, Hayden Springer, round 1 at the John Deere Classic. Fun fact, both those rounds, ball in hand. Surprisingly, after about 3.5 yards, feet, whatever metric you want to use, of rain, they were ball in hand today. Beau gets off to an ideal start, birdie on 1, makes a nice 40-footer. Think about Beau Hossler. The one thing he can do well is make a lot of putts. 2 birdie, 3 birdie, 4 birdie. Kuchar! Eagle on 5. All of a sudden, 6 under through 5. You're thinking, oh my God, is he going to do it? Adds another on 8. Misses a misses kind of a makeable one there on 9, but turns in 28 regardless. I believe 27 would have been the record at Sedgefield. Gets it to 8 under with a birdie on 10. Gives one back, gets one back. And then the dream is alive on 15, where he makes it or a birdie, takes advantage of the par 5, misses a 20-footer on 16, misses a 20-footer on 17, misses the fairway on 18. Actually, a really nice up and down from the greenside bunker to shoot 60, his low round of his PGA Tour career. And Beau Hossler is a guy who's probably a perpetual, let's call a spade, 60 to 90 type guy on the PGA Tour, in that range, playoff fringes typically. And this move, if he holds on, it's a big if. 54 holes, long way to go. Beau Hossler not having the best season, right? T4 in Myrtle Beach the week across from the Wells Fargo Championship, I want to say. Since then, 5 missed cuts in 8 starts. Sedgefield Country Club has stuffed him in a locker over and over again. 3 missed cuts in 4 starts. Best finish, T65. PU. But when he needs it, he might have it. And so he needs a top 3, 4 finish probably to make the playoffs. If I had to guess, and obviously off to a great start. So good for him. One of the better ball striking days of his career. Other notables in the morning wave, you had Cam Young shoot 3 under 67 as well, bogey free, I believe. Zalatoris 2 under, Sung Jae 2 under, Akshay 1 under, Cam Davis 1 under, and Shane Lowry even par, trying to stay inside the top 10 of the coveted Comcast top 10. Great brand activation. We will get to the afternoon wave and perhaps some of our other favorite bows after a quick word from one of our partners. And we are back. Let's hit the afternoon wave. Admittedly, some of these guys still on the golf course, and let's rock with the Englishman, Ben Taylor. I believe that's an English flag I'm looking at. If not, I might have to go back to school. Ben Taylor. Everyone knew Ben Taylor was going to play super, super well this week, right, guys? Oh my goodness, I'm looking at his data golf profile right now. He has made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuts this year in 20 starts. I'm no mathematician, I'm no math whiz, but I don't believe that is any good. Little form there at the ISCO, now known as the WASCO Championship, finished T6, but he is on the golf course, currently on 18 fairway, 7 under for the day. Really, really nice round from Big Ben Taylor, kind of like Hossler. An absolute dream start. Saw a lot of guys take advantage of that front 9 at Sedgefield, playing about, I want to say, a stroke and a half under par. He goes birdie, 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 birdie. Count them, 5 in a row. Something happens at 6, makes par, but then he gets back on the train with 1 at 7 and 1 at 8 as well. Similar to Hossler, plays a little ping pong at the beginning of his back 9 with bogeys on 10 and 12 to sandwich a birdie on 11. Takes advantage of the par 5 15th, as most are doing, and that is how you get to 7 under. He's second from tee to green, third on approach. Really nice putting day as well, gaining about a stroke and a half to the field. And that is typically how Big Ben Taylor gets it done. I guess that makes sense. He's English. The Big Ben reference works. No, don't mean to digress there, but you look at his good starts this year, and like I said, there aren't many of them. Really, only that T6 at the ISCO Championship. But he has been putting quite well over the last couple months. So this is a guy who is outside the top 330 in the official World Golf Championship. He is 185 in the FedEx Cup. And so this is a little game within the game. Actually, if I'm being grammatically correct, phonetically correct, more likely. This is the game outside the game, outside the game. Game within the game's used too often. This is the game outside the game. Ben Taylor, currently 185 in the FedEx Cup. Current projection, 134. Remember, people, you got to position yourself for the top 125 come FedEx Cup fall. Full status on the PGA Tour. No need to, finagle with the Corn Ferry boys. So this start is huge for the game outside the game, which is the FedEx Cup fall for Ben Taylor, that is. I'm going to guess he makes par. Miss the green. Play suspended. Fantastic. All right. Next, Billy Horschel. Let's get to him, and then probably can wrap it up. There's some other guys, but Billy Horschel is really the main attraction in the afternoon wave, right? White man can't jump. Billy Ho. Shout out to, oh my God, what's that actor? Not Jack Harlow, not the remake. Woody Harrelson. Shame on me. Yeah, Billy Ho got off to a great start. Dream start. Par on 1, holes out for eagle on 2. In the middle of the rain. Brought back flashbacks of Royal Troon. Remember, this is the first time we are seeing Billy Horschel since Royal Troon. Was going to play in the 3M Open the week after, grinding on the range, doing everything well, and then wakes up, backache, flu, fever, whole 9 WDs. Back this week, you couldn't tell. Played great on that front 9. Starts 4-2-2. I'm sure that's an area code somewhere. Takes advantage of the par 5, tacks on a couple other birdies, and a real flawless back 9 so far. As I said, play just suspended. He is at 8 under after a birdie on the par 3 16th, and that comes after a very nice par save on the par 5 15th to remain bogey free. He actually almost hold out for another eagle on the par 4 13th. So the ball striking looks great from Billy Horschel. He has always been a guy to thrive on the Momo, for those of you at home, which is probably all of you, if I had to guess. Momo stands for momentum. He's a guy who was a Tour Championship bubble boy, number 27 to enter the week. High quality start would pretty much secure the Tour Championship for him, I believe. Other notables in the afternoon wave, since I'm sure editorial will get on my butt here shortly. Nick Taylor off to an excellent start. Why? Because I bet him top 40. You're welcome. Coming into the week, he was the BMW bubble boy, number 50. Hitting the ball great. Past handful of months just has not made anything on the greens. Looks like a complete shell of that Phoenix Open Nick Taylor, who, man, Charlie Hoffman almost won this year. That is insane. Sorry, I digress. But guess who's leading the field in strokes gained putting today? Dun 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 dun. Josh, we need a drum roll soundbite here, but it's going to be Nick Taylor gaining almost 6 strokes to the field on the greens. Gained 2 strokes on approach, so iron play not too far behind. You have guys like Aaron Rye, who is putting the finishing touches on a solid round. I believe he is 5 under through 17. And yeah, CT Payne, the Panimal, 3 under through 12. And yeah, looks like the final groups have about 9 holes to play, if I'm correct. We've got the final groups of, talk about Talk about this. Wilson Furr, Steve Bogdanoff, and Adrian Dumont de Chachart. 9 holes to play. So hopefully tomorrow, the plan would be get all these guys done, make the cut, come back Sunday, go off early, split tees, threesomes, play as much golf as possible. Probably, if I had to guess, 27 holes ish. And then final round on Monday. I believe that would be Monday. Like I said at the top, my internal clock off. Play about 9 holes on Monday and then jet off to Memphis, Beale Street, Peabody Hotel. Josh, what am I missing from Memphis? Silky O'Sullivan's? Josh, you're a Silky O'Sullivan's boy. Pyramid, of course, of Bass Pro Shops. How could I forget? Or Grace, I don't know. I've only been to Memphis a couple times. Even if this is first cut after dark, those experiences will not be told on this podcast, so I can keep my job. All righty. I don't think we need to get a betting favorites tonight because my one and done selection, Billy Horschel, is probably going to win this tournament. I don't hate Davis Thompson. I think he's at 4 under, not horrible. Sung J M is at 2 under. I think he's at 40 to 1, not horrible. But Billy Horschel's going to be your winner of the golf tournament. Josh, are we good to go? Anything else? Any shout outs I need to give? Any Bose I have forgotten about? Bose headphones. This is how we get creative, guys. Bose headphones. Maybe a top 10 pick for some. Maybe a top 10 pick for some. Okay, that's enough of me just yapping. First team all yapper right here because we are done for the night. We're shutting down the content machines. This was your round 1 recap. I'm your host, Patrick McDonald. You can find me on socials at P McDonald CBS, but I cannot do this alone because producer Josh on the ones and twos on the sticks, making it all happen. Shout out to him. Thank you for listening. Thank you for bearing with me. This was the First Cut Podcast. We'll see you guys next time.